we heard a parable on the kingdom of God. And usually parables are great for preachers because they tend to come with their own explanation built in. If you remember parables from Matthew and Luke, you'll get a parable about something and the disciples will be like, Jesus, what are you talking about? We don't get it. Jesus said, this is what I'm trying to say to you, and he'll explain it more plainly. And that just is the sermon right there. It's really easy. We don't get that explanation in the parables that Jesus gave this morning. We just have the parables themselves. And I think that it's really good that we only have the parable this morning. Because this is the parables are, what can we compare the kingdom of God? To what can we compare that? And the first parable is, well, it's like when a person goes out and scatters seed on the ground. And he goes to sleep, and he wakes up, and he goes to sleep, and he wakes up. And after a while, it just grows. He doesn't know how it grows. Doesn't know exactly what's going on. It just happens. But when it's grown and it's ready to be harvested, he goes out to harvest the grain. The kingdom of God is something that happens. We don't know how it happens. It just does. We don't have to do anything in particular to make the kingdom of God happen. In fact, there's not anything we could do to make the kingdom of God happen. The kingdom of God happens with or without our input. That's just a reality. What's important for us is to recognize when we see glimpses of the kingdom of God. And we can do that by really taking to heart what St. Paul wrote in his second letter to the Corinthians. He writes that the love of Christ urges us on. Other translations have that the love of Christ compels us. We can see the kingdom of God when we allow ourselves to be so enveloped in God's love for us that we have no other choice in our heart but to move forward into God's kingdom. The kingdom of God is real when not being in the kingdom of God is simply not even a possibility for us. It's just there and we see it. We don't know how it happened. We don't know what to do, what happened to get this wonderful collection of events that made the kingdom of God a reality in our life and before our eyes. We just know it's there and we're ready to harvest the grain. I had a wonderful opportunity this past weekend to be at the first camp of the camp season at Proctor. And by the end of the summer, you'll probably get tired of hearing me talk about Proctor, but you're not tired of it yet, so I'm going to tell you a bit about Proctor. It's a wonderful place. It's our diocesan camp and conference center, and they do a wonderful ministry there for youth and adults alike. And this camp was for anyone who wanted to go to camp. It's a family camp, so people go with their families, they bring their kids. College students who've aged out of the grade level camps but still want to go back and have that experience can come back. And it's just a wonderful experience. And one of the things that we get to do is we get to do a formation opportunity. And so I went to a Bible study yesterday morning. And it was wonderful because it was the first time in a very long time that I wasn't leading the Bible study. So that was nice. I got to just participate in it. But it really helped me get an idea of what I wanted to say this morning. Because by the end of that Bible study, the group all came to the same conclusion. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is love. And love is something that is simple. It's difficult, but it's simple. And the reason it's difficult is because we don't want it to be simple. We make it complicated. We add all these conditions. Well, you can't love someone if they're not going to love you back. You can't love someone if they're going to hurt you. You can't love someone if this happens. And you got to be careful because people will take advantage of you if you show them too much love. And if you show someone too much love, then you come across as desperate. And no one wants to appear desperate for love, even though everyone is desperate for love. But you don't want to look like you're desperate for love because that would be terrible. And so we've made it really complicated, but it's really simple. Love. Love one another. Love yourself. Love God and allow yourself to be loved by everyone. And allow yourself to feel God's love. If you let yourself be so enveloped in love, the kingdom of God just happens. You didn't do anything to make it happen. There's nothing you could have done to make it happen. You just saw it. You just witnessed it. You just participated in it. And it's there when you're ready to see it. When you're ready to let yourself be loved. And you're ready to extend that love without restriction to every single person you come across. When every person you see is a citizen of the kingdom of God, the kingdom of God is real. That's the only thing that matters. I hope you know that love in your life. I hope you know that love so much you have no choice but to share that love with every single person you come across. Together, we will all be a part of God's kingdom.